Hello and welcome. Welcome to the podcast Shift Happens with Dr. Divi. This is episode 1, and it's called Your Mind is Lying to You and What You Can Do About It. And I'm so genuinely excited that you're here. This podcast is a space for you to shift and heal your mind, helps you reconnect with your spirit, and unravel the old stories that keep you from feeling stuck, small, or in pain. This podcast is here to help you if you feel alone, to support you, and to help you work with your mind so you can actually return to your true essence, which is peace, love, and freedom. If you're new to me, welcome. My name's Dr. Divi, family doctor turned intuitive coach turned spiritual teacher. I'm here on the planet to help people heal their minds and their lives by teaching them to listen to their inner wisdom that's always been there. All of my work revolves around the book, A Course in Miracles, which you may have heard of. My over a decade and a half working as an intuitive coach, my career in family medicine, but also connecting with the energy of the Divine Mother. And using all these beautiful techniques that I have in my tool belt, I help people to guide them back to their true essence, to their connection with their power, and to their natural state of joy. So welcome. Once you find that place of joy, you are now open to that place of love and miracles. So I feel blessed and honored that you came to listen, to be guided, and to help each other on this path called life. Every week in this podcast, I'll share with you a little peek into my world as well, because this work isn't just theory. It's not just by listening to me while you're out for a drive or a walk. This work is alive and it's real and it transforms lives. And I've helped thousands of people do that. I love working this and I love walking this path with you. So a bit of glimpse into my life. Speaking of transformation, I've got a fabulous retreat coming up July 18th to 21st in Whistler. It's a beautiful little retreat of heartfelt people who are ready to transform and shift their lives into a deeper way of living of joy and love. We transform the inner world so that the outer world is more joyous. If you feel called, reach out. I'd love to have you. In addition to that, I also do group coaching. So if you feel a pull to that, I'd love to have you join me for that. So those are 2 things that are on my radar right now. Let's take a breath with me. Close your eyes. Take slow, deep breaths in and out as we get ready for an exciting episode of The Shift Happens. So let's drive in. Here's the truth. Most of us on the planet are living lives that look fine on the outside. Most of us have a phone. Most of us have a roof over our head. Most of us have food in our stomachs. But despite all those external things, inside we feel overwhelmed, tired, and disconnected. Our lovely minds don't shut off. We're constantly racing, figuring things out, problem solving, taking care of the kids, paying the bills. We're driving to work trying to make the biggest decisions of our life, wondering how we're going to pay rent. Should I stay with this marriage? What should I do with my kid? And we're just constantly in the struggle. Can you relate? And these external struggles seem really real. And I want to offer you a radical idea today that all these external struggles, yes, they're there, but inside, there's peace. Inside, there's an answer that you might already know. And inside, that peace inside of you is there. And once you access that peace, you'll have those answers to all those questions that are driving you crazy. The visual I love to use is it's like there's a gold coin sitting right inside of you right now. And that gold coin is waiting to be found. That gold coin holds the key to all the clarity, all the calm, all the wisdom that you're looking for. Everything's there. We spend so much time trying to figure things out. What if the real invitation is to slow down, to let go, and learn to receive the answers from within? Because what we really try to do is we try to control everything. But this work isn't about control. It's about trust. It's about presence. It's about love. And that's what today's episode is all about. So don't stop listening yet. It's actually going to get really, really good. So if you're going, oh my God, I can't go there. Trust me, if you've made it this far, you're going to make it all the way. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful teachings that I've ever come across, and the key that changed everything for me. And that's ego versus spirit. So you may have heard this concept before, but we have two voices inside of us, not 3, not 5, not 10. We just have two voices, and that's it. The first voice that we all know about is the anxious voice. It's the judgy voice. It's the one that panics, compares, and tries to figure things out. It reacts and it micromanages and it controls. That's the voice of the ego. The second voice is that soft voice. It's that loving voice. It's that wise voice. And it doesn't shout, it just whispers. And that's your spirit. The ego will always tell you that something's wrong. Spirit reminds you who you truly are. Most of us, including me, have grown up listening to the ego. It chatters, it chatters, it chatters. And we've learned to trust the ego's noise more than our heart's noise. And that's why you're struggling right now, because you're trying to figure it out. If you don't know, the ego lives in the past, it lives in the future, and it loves guilt and the body. The spirit is our essence. It's not attached to our body. It's our true knowing. It lives in the now, it lives in the heart, and it lives in love. Wayne Dyer used to say that there's 7 spiritual solutions for every problem. And that was really when I was just starting in this work over 30 years ago. I'm finally starting to understand what he's starting to say. So no matter how confused you are, no matter what the question is, no matter how much pain you're in, the beautiful part is that spirit has never left you. It's always been there. It's always there. The truth of who we are to our core is eternal joy. Spirit has never forgotten that. You haven't lost it. You haven't. The ego is just a little bit too loud. So let's get going. Let's dive in. So the Course in Miracles is a text that most of you have probably heard of. If you haven't, don't worry about it. A Course in Miracles is a text that much of this work is based on. In A Course in Miracles, they describe the ego as simply the part of your thought system that forgot who you truly are. It forgot that you are love. It forgot that you are whole. It actually believes that you're separate from the divine. It believes that you're separate from love. It believes you're separate from the creator. And it believes in separation. It believes in fear, and it believes in lack. The ego is so busy labeling, judging, analyzing, reacting. Yet the spirit, it accepts. It unifies. It reassures and it loves. The ego always screams, you're not enough. And spirit, that quiet whisper in the background, says, you're beautiful. You're perfection. And the more we begin to see and name the ego for exactly what it is, the more space we have for spirit. And that's a key. I'm going to repeat that. So again, we only have the 2 voices. So if the ego is yelling and chirping, you can't hear spirit. But the more you get to know the ego for what it is and get to see it, it gently moves out of the way. And that's one of the most powerful ways that you can start to your spirit. So let's get a bit deeper. Here's the definition of the ego that I love. The ego is simply the mental habit of labeling everything. Think about it right now. You're either watching me or listening to me while you're out for a walk or in the car. And if you can see me, you're probably labeling, oh, look, she has dark hair. Oh, look, it looks like she colors her hair. Oh, look, it looks like she's got a white shirt and like a blue and white shirt. Crazy. She's got darker skin. See how you're labeling all day? From the time you wake up in the morning, you label right away. Okay, what's the time? Then I know my mind goes to, what day is it? What time is it? Then I go to, what's on my agenda? Do you see how I label? And these labels might seem completely harmless, which they can be. What they do is they pull me out of the presence of now. They pull me out of the presence of love. They keep me in the mind, future, past, not in the moment. Let's try this exercise. Close your eyes. Take a few breaths. Imagine you're sitting on a chair in front of me, and I decide to take off layers of who you think you are. Just breathe with me. And if you're driving, obviously you're not going to close your eyes, but I want you to imagine first that I took off the layer that has your name. So let's just say we took that off. And I took off the next layer that says you're male or female, or what gender you identify with. Then I took off the next layer, which is your job. Then I took off the next layer, which is your employment status, your bank account. So just keep taking a layer off at a time. Just keep breathing as you do this. Imagine we're doing this together. Take off layer, take off the layer, take off the layer, take off the layer, and just keep breathing. Take a few breaths. And you might want to stay here longer because it feels pretty darn good, doesn't it? The more layers that you remove, you're going to notice that there's more space opening up inside of you. That's where spirit lives, in that stillness and in that quiet. Take a few breaths. If you haven't, go ahead and open your eyes. Whenever I teach this exercise, when people commonly experience this, they're like, but I need to be something, so I'll take their name away. But then who am I? And the thing is, when we remove the ego's layers, that's when love can step in. That's when your divinity can step in. That's when the part of you that is the creator can step in. So I don't know if you've ever done this meditation, but a lot of spiritual teachers use this image, and I would love for you to see this image with me. And I remember when I first started to meditate, I remember a yoga teacher teaching this. I remember him saying, I want you to imagine you're sitting outside on a beautiful blue sky day like it is today. And with your eyes open, you're looking up at the blue sky. And then there's clouds there. Some of those clouds are fluffy and some of them are spiky. Some of them are stormy. We all know those clouds will pass. Behind those clouds, as they pass by, you get to the blue sky. And you can take that into a visual right now. The more you get into the blue sky, the more you get into stillness. You get into openness and you get into peace. Just breathe into that for a few minutes. Just breathe. That is access to your spirit. Here you don't need to control the clouds. You just let them pass by and keep returning to the sky. Let's go into another section of today about ego versus spirit. So here's a big stumbling block in the 2 decades I've been teaching spiritual work. One of the biggest stumbling blocks that people have when they're hearing their spirit is their fear of love. And you probably are going to pause this and rewind it. What did she just say? Yeah, our fear of love. You might be thinking, but Divi, I want love. Dr. Divi, you're crazy. Of course you do. Of course. But remember, most of us have learned that love is conditional. Love means pain. Love might mean abandonment. For me, love meant performance. And if love ever hurt, then your nervous system, as soon as I say you want spirit, you want love, your nervous system is going to go, no, let me protect me from that. That's scary. Okay? Because your nervous system is holding on to the fight or flight from childhood. So when I say trust spirit, trust the divine, your system might go, no, that's not safe. No, that means condition. No, that means abandonment. And that's not your fault. That's just old wiring. But here's the miracle. What I'm talking about is not love from a human, not love from your child, not love from your spouse. I'm talking about the unconditional love that spirit, the divine, the creator has for you. And that's in you. And what I'd like you to be open to is that love is safe. That love is who you are. And you can learn to trust that love again. I'll say one more thing before I take us deeper into today's podcast. In future episodes, not today, in future episodes, I'm going to introduce you to the energy of the Divine Mother. She is the energy of unconditional love that literally has changed my lives and thousands of people I've worked with. The Divine Mother, once you get to know her and start to work with her, she is the bridge back to the kind of love that you may never received, ever. I first got to be aware of the Divine Mother's love through things like nature, through animals, through presence, through slowing down. And that love is available to you right now. The Divine Mother's love never judges. She never shames. She purely loves. And that is spirit. Go back to the Course for a minute. Course in Miracles teaches us that the Course does not aim to teach the meaning of love for the love. This is a quote, sorry, I should back up. This is a quote from the Course. The Course does not aim to teach the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, to remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. I'm going to read that last sentence again. The Course's aim is to remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. So in these podcasts together, we are going to gently remove the blocks of love together. Here's another quote before we go a bit deeper. Another quote from the Course says, thoughts do not leave their source. So think about it for a minute. If you're a mother or a father and you have a child, you may have the experience that I know I have with my own son. I look at him and I go, oh, that's me in you. Or I look at him and I go, oh, that's your dad. You know how you always do that? Thoughts do not leave their source. Well, if somebody created me, my creator created me, Spirit, the divine created me, the creator's thoughts are in me. And that's super important to understand. The creator's thoughts of unconditional love for you, of you, and with you are in you 24/7. Thoughts do not leave their source tells you that the creator's thoughts of pure love are in you 24/7. You have access to the creator's thoughts right now. They never left. I think of it like a pipeline to the heavens coming into my head. The answer is the peace, the creator's love is always here. And I've just built walls to it because of the ego. But the creator's right here. They're right here. And all I have to do is take the ego's blocks away gently so I can wake up that more. So let's go into another visual just for a moment. Be open to any of the confusion, the angst, and the feeling of lack that you're experiencing right now. There is an answer. So whatever the big question is, should I marry this person? Should I leave my husband? Should I have an affair? Should I file for bankruptcy? All of those questions do have an answer. But here's the news flash. The answer is not in your mind. They're not in the analyzing. The answer is not in the dissecting. The answer is not in journaling. The answer is not in death. The answer is not in blogging about it. The answer is not in talking about it. The answer is not in the loop, because the loop is the frustration that you know, the overwhelm that you know. The thinking mind cannot solve a problem that it does not create. Instead, we need to try something very different. If you're listening to this podcast, you made it this far, and meant to try something much different. I want you to imagine right now that the answer, the miracle, the release from pain, it's there. It's in spirit. And even more beautifully, it's inside of you. Let's try this visual. Close your eyes if you want. Picture that radiant gold coin that we started with today. And it's glowing very softly in the center of your being. Just see it right now. That gold coin holds the clarity. It holds the peace. It holds the insight that you want. It's there. It's right there inside of you. Are you open to that? Just breathe with that. Let's visualize it right now. If your eyes are still closed, start to imagine the creator's love is inside of you and it's behind you. It's not far away. Not in a distant realm in Mars, but right next to you. It's around you and it's inside you. That presence has never left. It's always been by your side. And it's for you. And it wants your clarity. It wants your freedom. It wants you to feel fluid and connected and alive. Now take a few breaths. The creator's here. That gold coin is inside of you, and keep breathing. And before you open your eyes, tap into how you're feeling. What do you feel? Beautiful. Go and open your eyes. That slightest bit of shift, which might have been a microsecond of your mind, it might have been an inch in your heart releasing and softening. That jaw might have loosened, your breath might have deepened. That is how we begin. The more quiet we become in the mind, the more you step away from the overthinking, the more you step away from the analyzing, the more you step away from trying to figure it all out, the more you open up to something much, much deeper. The inner wisdom that is always waiting for you. But we can't access that wisdom through noise. Can't. We have to sit still. We have to be open to the idea that there's something beyond the ego, beyond the labeling, beyond the noise. And that thing is love. And that love is not theoretical. It's not on Mars. It's not reserved for gurus or monks or spiritual teachers. It's not reserved for everyone who's done everything right. It's right there in your heart right now. You were born with it. When we start to shift away from guilt, when we step away from fear, when we step away from the past and step away from the future, we step into presence and possibility and now. We begin to access something very real, something solid, something divine. And that awareness is palpable right now, and it's alive, and it's inside of you, and has all the answers that you've been chasing. So take home from today. Let go of labeling. Let go of judging. Let go of fixing. And be open to that gold coin. Be open to receive the answers from the Creator. Be open to receiving the presence of love. Be open to miracles because they're inside of you right now. So when you finally start to hear spirit again, this is what's going to start happening. You're going to say, why did it take me so long to hear you or sense you? Because when you start to hear spirit, you're going to remember, you are beautiful. You are loved. You've never made a mistake. You're purely innocent. You're the center of the universe's eye. You are love. You are love. You are love. So as we begin to close, take a few breaths. I would love you for tomorrow morning when you wake up, rather than labeling the time and the day and your sex and the bank account, simply wake up, take those labels off. I am enough. I am spirit. I am safe. I am whole. Remember, spirit's voice is not loud. It does not push. It waits gently for you to let go of all the labels and the judgment. And as you do this, you will begin to feel more peace, more clarity, more beauty. And it all starts with you. Thank you so much for joining me for the first episode of The Shift Happens with Dr. Divi. I am touched that you are here. I would love you to subscribe to this. And I'd love for you to share this with somebody you love, somebody who could use a little bit more light for today. And if you're feeling a pull, don't forget, I have 2 things coming up. I've got the Whistler retreat, July 18th to 21st, and everyone who comes to my retreats loves them. So I'd love you to come. We got a couple spots left. Or if you want to join me for online stuff, I'm starting a group coaching program very soon, in the next week or 2. So I'm sending you so much love, and thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you next week for another episode of The Shift Happens. So much love.